Companions of the cave. In the time of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, some Quraysh of Makkah went to a Jewish scholar and asked him what question should be asked to Muhammad, peace be upon him, to clarify the fact that he was a prophet. In response, the Jewish scholar asked him 3 questions. One of the questions was who were the companions of the cave. Therefore, Allah Almighty explained the answer to this question to his beloved prophet in Surah Al-Kahf of the Holy Quran. History of the companions of the cave. There was a time of Jesus when Allah Almighty sent him to preach Islam in the area of Palestine. This area was then considered the Roman Empire. The people here were idolaters. It was ruled by a Jewish king, who was working under the Roman government. When Jesus started preaching, the Romans turned against him, and wanted to arrest him and hang him on the cross. But by the command of Allah Almighty you were lifted up to heaven alive. Shortly after this incident, the Jewish people revolted against the Roman government. In response, the Roman Emperor Titus attacked and destroyed Jerusalem and Palestine. He even destroyed Aqsa Mosque. During that time, 150,000 Jews were killed. The Jews who survived, they escaped from Palestine. But those who believed in Jesus remained in Palestine. In 250 AD a Roman Emperor Decius came to power. He was an idolater, so he began to persecute the Christians in his government. One day he invited some of Jesus' followers to his court. And he said to them, I will give you a respite for a few days, turn away from your religion or I will kill you. These followers of Jesus were actually the companions of the cave. They are mentioned in Surah Al-Kahf of the Holy Quran. When these young men heard this threat, they became very upset. Because they did not have the courage to fight the king. Nor could continue Christianity in the city, otherwise King Decius would have killed them. So they decided to leave the city and run away. They left the city, relying on Allah Almighty, and hid themselves in a cave. They slept there. Even 300 years passed while they were asleep. When the King Decius found out that these people were present in such and such a cave, he became very angry and ordered that the cave should be closed with a wall so that these people would die inside. The person, who was entrusted with this task, was virtuous and faithful. He wrote the names of the companions of the cave and the whole incident on a stone tablet and placed it in an iron box at the base of the walls. He also placed a copy in the royal treasury. During these 300 years the King Decius died. And many kings and governments came and went. The year 300 AD came and the Roman Empire also converted to Christianity. In the 5th century AD the reign of King Badros came. He was a righteous and just king. He ruled for 68 years. At a time when religious sectarianism was at its height. And the belief in resurrection and life after death was disappearing among the people. The king was very sad to see this condition of the people. He prayed to Allah Almighty to show him some signs so that the faith of his people would be renewed. Allah Almighty accepted his prayer. So one day a shepherd went to this cave while grazing his goats. This was the same cave in which the companions of the cave were sleeping. The shepherd, along with a few others, tore down the wall. As soon as the wall fell, the people became so frightened that they all fled in panic. Thus, by the command of Allah Almighty, the companions of the cave awoke from their sleep and began to greet each other. He sent one of his companions, Yumlika, to fetch food from the market. When Yumlika arrived at the market, he was surprised to see that there was talk of religion everywhere in the city. People were preaching the words of Jesus. And they are following their teachings. In the conflict, Yumlika gave the coin of her time to the shopkeeper in exchange for food. When the shopkeeper saw the coins, he suspected that the man might have found the old treasure, so he handed Yumlika over to the soldiers. The soldiers asked Yumlika where the treasure came from. "We have no treasure, this is our money," he said. The soldiers asked, "How can we believe that because these coins are 300 years old?" Yamlika asked, "Please tell me about the king Decius." The soldiers replied that there was no king by that name today. But hundreds of years ago an unfaithful king by that name passed away. He was an idolater. Upon hearing this, Yamlika was shocked and upset and said that we had escaped from her city yesterday, saving our faith and life. And my companions and I hid in a nearby cave, while the rest of my companions are still in the cave. Walk with me and see for yourself. When the soldiers and many people came near this cave, the companions of the cave were waiting for Yamlika inside the cave. When the crowd and noise outside the cave began to be heard, the companions of the cave thought perhaps the army of Decius had pursued us and reached the cave. Therefore, they engaged in the remembrance and praise of Allah. The soldiers reached the cave and found the box. And when he took out the tablet from it, they read the name of the companions of the cave on it, and it was also written, "This is a group of believers who have taken refuge in this cave for fear of King Decius to protect their religion." King had closed the mouth of the cave. The soldiers were shocked and upset. When they did not understand anything, they informed his king Bedros. When the king heard this news, he immediately went there with his soldiers and scholars. The companions of the cave came out of the cave and told the whole story to the king. King Bedros prostrated there and thanked Allah Almighty and said, "O Allah, my prayer has been answered. You have shown such a sign that man will surely believe in resurrection after death." And after that the companions of the cave prayed to the king, and after saluting went back to the cave and went to sleep. In that state Allah killed them. The king made their graves in this cave, and appointed a day of the year, when people used to come to visit the graves of the companions of the cave. Hazrat Abdullah bin Abbas says that the names of these companions were engraved on a tablet, so they are also called Raqim. And he also says that Raqim is the name of the town, where they hid in a cave in the mountains. And there are many sayings. Archaeological excavations revealed new discoveries. The most notable of these is the discovery of Raqim city. As far as the investigation is concerned, this confirms each and every word of the Holy Quran. The era of the companions of the cave. According to modern research, this has also been estimated that this incident took place near the time of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, after Jesus. Location of the cave. From the Gulf of Aqaba, there are two parallel ranges of mountains rising towards the north. Archaeological remains of ancient buildings have also been found near the site. The modern location corresponds to the cave in the town of Al-Rajab, north of the Jordanian capital, Amman. Scientific research. How is it possible that the companions of the cave were not affected by time? Nor did their physical appearance change as a period of 300 years passed around them. These people were sleeping on the ground. The amount of gravity on their body was equal. And the gravity of their places was much greater than the gravity of their surroundings. But how it could be possible, at the same time? Scientists have now recognized that gravity is not the same on different parts of the earth, and it is not difficult for Allah Almighty to increase or decrease this amount. The gravity of these people's places had increased so much that the speed of time became very slow. Hundreds of years have passed. Abstract. Although something may seem strange to us intellectually, it is not necessarily strange in terms of reality. Because the creator of this universe has established such an organized system that the intellect is amazed. The purpose of awakening the companions of the cave after sleeping them for a long time was to make people understand that the promise of Allah is true, that He will resurrect the bodies of all the dead on the day of resurrection. And there is no doubt that the hour will come.